August the 27th, 2025. Guys, you're looking at CERN live tonight at 7:33 p.m. Central Time as we're speaking, 8:33 on the East Coast. And CERN, which is on the Franco-Swiss border, is 6 hours ahead of the East Coast time, or 7 hours ahead of our time here. Again, 7:33, and you see we're watching it live at 2:33 on the 28th, because it's universal time and they've already stepped into tomorrow. What you're looking at is beam 1 and beam 2 on the right. Again, we're live. And what you're seeing again is your windage and elevation here, just like sighting in something. They've been very close. They've been running a lot of power all day. And something that I've talked about before is they took down one of the models that was showing the shields, or what we call our magnetopoles. It was showing the effects of it when CERN was running hot, and they're running hot right now, but they took that model down. So I went back a few years and found some of the videos that before they took the model down, when I was watching CERN and how it was bending and distorting the shields of our planet. Pretty wild effect. Again, I don't know if that's an unintended side effect by the people that design and operate CERN, or it's an intended effect. But they're not going to talk about it either way. And I remember when I first found this out, a lot of people would argue with me about it, saying, no, there's no way that CERN can affect the shields of our planet. It's too big. And then I started giving out the information that the energy created by CERN, and it has a magnetic field, just like a motor or anything else that has electricity flowing through it. There's a magnetic field around it that's just created normally. And that's what's happening to the Earth. You've got a metal core, it's spinning one way, the Earth's spinning the other way, and it creates a magnetic field that protects the planet. But CERN's magnetic field is 100,000 times stronger than Earth's. So, of course, it would affect it. And CERN is underground. It's up in the northern sections of the planet, right in the area where we see the Peterman currents and the ground currents run through. And I've talked about it many times. As you see solar flares or just normal solar wind come in and hit our shields, it creates a current that's diving down from the shields, going through our planet, and it creates currents around the planet underground that can be measured. And there's stations all over the planet that measure these ground currents. Well, CERN just happened to be right in the middle of one of them. And so you've got the effect of CERN being attached to the Earth's magnetic field. So when it's powered up and it's generating all of its power, again, 100,000 times stronger than our planet's, then there's definitely going to be an effect. Again, I'm going to zoom up just a little bit. These are pretty amazing images when they're running at full power like this. Now, as we're continuing moving through time, it is 2:37 there, it is 7:37 here. And you can see each time these two beams hit each other, that image changes with the explosions. Now, they're not dead on each other, but that's exactly what you're looking at in real time right now. These particle beams are more than likely moving at the speed of light and inside a 17-mile ring and colliding head-on. That's where they get the explosions, the collisions, and that's really where they found what they call the God particle. Now, I don't know what God they're talking about, but they do have Shiva statues out there that was donated by India, and you have a lot of Indian scientists involved. And Shiva, in that, it's a circular statue right on the grounds of the god Shiva dancing, and what they say about it is Shiva can dance in existence and dance in destruction. So that's their statue there. Anyway, what I want to do is now I'm going to go back and show you before they took this model down what was happening to our shields when CERN was running. Again, I started pointing it out They took the model down, just like when I first started saying that the solar flares were causing earthquakes. No one would agree with me, except Pastor Paul. Anyway, now everybody knows it. They watch for that, all the top people. And again, I talked about this, no one would believe me. Finally, before they took the model down, there was enough examples where everybody realized exactly what was going on. So let's take a look at that. We're going to go back in time 6 years. This is before, again, they took that model down, and we're going to watch it as CERN is affecting the shields of our planet. Now, guys, again, July the 1st, 2019. A lot of you saw it. Time sure does go by, doesn't it, guys? 6 years now. 6 years and a month. It's amazing. But here's what we're seeing. This is the model, the magnetopause position here. Got satellites in this dotted band going around the planet. The white dot is Earth. The white side of the dot is the sun-facing side. So the energy's coming from the right and moving this way. What's happening, normally you would see this curve stay in a curved position, but bounce closer to Earth and spring back out. You've seen it in some of the modern models. But look at it now. And this is the South Pole, this is the North Pole of our planet, and you can see that that's where the magnetic lines of force go in and out. And look at the distortion, guys. Shields are not supposed to do that. It's very unnatural. Again, this was 6 years ago, and I wish I still had that model available. I don't know if it got defunded or they just didn't want to talk about it anymore. They did that to us on space weather when I pointed out that an asteroid was coming inside the satellite bands of our planet. They said, oh, no, it wasn't. And then I showed them the technical data, and that argument went on space weather. And then they finally had to admit it. And then they took down all the close approaches. Now the closest you'll see is a 0.1 or something like that AU. And we were getting down to 0.0003 and things like that. They took it down. But again, that's the energy of the sun. There's an angle difference even here. But when these are examples of what you and I were watching July 2019 of the distortion. They didn't like that. And again, I don't know if it was unintentional side effects that CERN was causing that was pointed out to them. Is that the reason they took the model down? I don't know. But I do know they do that kind of cowardly crap a lot. Took down the close approach for the asteroids. Tried to shut us down talking about the earthquakes. Nobody believed it until we tracked the X-flares coming in that hit Fukushima. And at that moment, you saw was it a 9-point quake? I think it was. But again, as we go through this timestamp, you can see it at the top. This is CERN running wide open and bending our shields. The white line with the black outline is the positioning of the shields. And there's times, I don't think it was in this video, where these lines, guys, would collapse all the way down very close to the Earth, way inside the satellite bands when they were reaching peak power. But I wanted to go back and show you the physical evidence of what they're doing to the Earth's shields. And now that they're running full power, maybe that's why they're not showing us or letting us see it. I don't know. But this was proof, and it kind of shut up all the critics, the scientists that said it couldn't. But now with the models gone, they just don't talk about it at all. But guys, again, I wanted to find this, went back and found it, and that's what's going on. CERN is running really hot right now, and so the distortion in our shields is probably worse than what you just saw, because they're running very close to 7 tera-electron volts per beam, and that's huge. Like 7,000 giga-electron volts, I think it is. Anyway, I wanted to point this out. I promised I would try to find them, but again, we're dealing with a lot. And when you see the excessive heat come in, you see the distortion in our weather patterns. Does this have something to do with it? More than likely it does, guys. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.